Again, Super Street, need you to lanes, please. Round number 2, pairing Super Street. Need you to the staging lanes, please, for pairings. Round number 2. Go ahead and bring them on down, boys and girls. Hopefully everybody's in, getting paired up and ready to go. And as soon as we get Super Street in and paired, we'll be knocking on the door of all the stock eliminators that are still in the mix. So stock, be getting them ready. Super gas, you'll follow stock. Right now, looking for all of our Super Street cars for round number 2 of eliminations. Need you to the lanes, please. Racers, before we get started this morning, do want to let everybody know that if you are in the money this weekend, meaning third round and later finishing position, you do need to have a W-9 on file here at the track. If you want to eliminate any questions, you can come to the media suite right next door to race control. See Miss Courtney. Fill out your W-9, and it will expedite your check being delivered by the United States Postal Service. But if you do not have a W-9 on file and you are in the money, the W-9 will have to be mailed. You'll have to mail it back. And then eventually you'll get your check. So if you want to expedite the process and you are in the money this weekend here at Route 66 Raceway, you need to stop by the media suite, fill out a W-9 so that the track has it on file and they can process your winning check or your check for your wins or your winning funds, or, well, you get the idea. But if you are in the money, you do need to check with Courtney in the media suite next door to race control, not in race control. But Courtney in the media suite next to race control. South side of the tower, first floor. See Courtney, make sure you have a W-9 filled out and on file here at Route 66 Raceway. It will help everybody expedite everything, including your money. And unfortunately, here they won't let me apply all those unsent checks to the old announcer's retirement fund. Dang it. So anyway, racers, if you're in the money, third round or later, need to have a W-9 on file here at the track. Need to report to the media room right next door and make sure you've got your W-9 filled out in Courtney's hands, and that will help expedite the check issuing process and getting money to you. Round number 3, need you to the lanes now, please, for pairing stock eliminator. Round number 3. Your turn to come on down, boys and girls. Stock eliminator, round number 3. Need you to the staging lanes, please. Stockers, come on. We need you to lanes, one and all.
I don't know about you, but I'm sure ready for some racing action today. I've been dreaming about it all night. Funny cars running through my mind. I can't get them off. Can't get them off the mind.
Okay. All righty, Rob Kropfeld and Jay Wilson going to lead us off. Round number 2 of Super Street. 1090's up on the board. You want to dance through it? Super Street's all yours.
Yes, sir. We got Rob Kropfeld here up in the O'Reilly Auto Parts side against Jay Wilson. Jay Wilson, a delivery driver, running for Wilson Family Racing, the 64 Chevy Nova. He goes 1090 at 136.8 to 1093 with 5 on 135.1. Jay Wilson takes the win. O'Reilly Auto Parts side, we got Jonathan Erickson. He's running a 78 Monza. Total size, Chase Batt, and a 68 Camaro. This guy's the 2010 NHRA Summit ET Pro champion, 3-time Muncie Dragway champ, and semifinals at Summit Pomona. Decent lights from both drivers. And the win goes to Jonathan Erickson with a 1095, 121.1 to a losing 1099 at 126.8. Nick Vogelsang, he's up here in his 67 Chevy Deuce, running Steve Town. He's running that Dodge 65, one of Unk's favorites. Steve's out of Bloomington, Michigan, sheet metal worker. Vogelsang, he's out of East Peoria, a local guy, he's an electrician. Town goes red. Win goes to Vogelsang.
Stock Eliminator, round number 3. Need you to lanes, please. Stock Eliminator, round number 3. Need you to the lanes. Come on down. Stockers, round number 3. Need you to the lanes, please.
Got a 68 Camaro up here. Beautiful car, driven by Jim Nobin. He's running a 67 Chevy Deuce. It's Nick Hooten in the Toyota side. He's out of Oak Forest, local guy, firefighter. So let's see if he can shut down this guy from Wisconsin. He goes red. Jim Nobin takes the win. 68 Camaro. Nice light. He goes 1091 with 141.5 to a losing 1096. Another local guy out of Highland here, Tom Head, driving a 68 Roadrunner against Larry Raspinski. This guy's driving a 70 Barracuda. Nice looking car. Larry's sleeping on the tree. Oh, sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. There you go. Tom Head takes the win at 1099 at 135. O'Reilly Auto Parts side, Mark Wessler driving this 85 Mustang. He's out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, taking a trip out here against Steve Traeger. He's driving a 68 Nova out of Foley, Minnesota. And Wessler breaks out. Traeger takes the win at 1091 with 5, 136.1 miles an hour. O'Reilly Auto Parts side, you got another 67 Deuce, driven by Bob Schmidt out of Grove City, Ohio. Retired guy, just taking his time racing. Got Jason Satterley on the Toyota side. He's out of Kentucky, driving this 99 Firebird, powered by a 400 GM power plant. Nice leave on the Toyota side. And
Craig Meyer rolls in now. The Mopar car on the left-hand side is Scott Mackey. Last year's runner-up gets ready to set sail down the Toyota side of the racetrack. Stock Eliminator, round number 3. Need you to lanes, please. Stockers, round 3. Need you to the lanes, and Scott goes one more round. 1095, 148, 1096 coming up short by 13 thou. Craig Meyer down at the other end of the racetrack. So Scott trying to keep his hopes alive of another final round berth. Jeremy Mason, Kentucky-based runner, the Camaro on the Toyota side, and Ray Miller's Little Monza. Out of the gate they go, side by side greens. That's the way we like it. Makes a race out of it. Miller out in front. Jeremy a little bit better on the tree. Parlays it into the whole shot win. 1097 at 142. 1096 by Ray. Mason at the stripe. 7 thousandths of a second. Fred Rucker and Presley Wilkerson roll in. Did you get your battery in?
Yes, sir.
You good to go again?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's see what these guys do. We got Presley Wilkerson out of Louisville, Kentucky, taking a long trip here against Brent Rooker out of Wasco, Illinois. He's a contractor for VFN Fiberglass, and he loses to Presley Wilkerson with 11:02 with a 3 at 144.38 miles an hour to losing 11:07 with a 4 at 115.66 miles an hour. An 04 Chevy pickup, and Joe Peterson, he's driving this out of Elkhorn, Nebraska. Up against Chris Mahoney here, driving an 05 Chevy pickup truck. He goes. Win goes to Joe Peterson out of Elkhorn, Nebraska.
Stock Eliminator, round number 3. Need you back in the lanes, please. Stockers, round 3. Need you to the back of the lane. Stockers, come on down.
We got Mark Smith against Joe Malfo. Joe Malfo is out of Worth, Illinois here, a Bear Construction Company, driving the 72 Nova. And we got an 02 Mustang. He's an attorney. This guy, don't want to mess with him. We'll write some paperwork up on you and take you to court. And the win goes to Mark Smith, 11:06 with a 5, 117.5 to losing 11:16 at 144.5. O'Reilly Auto Parts side, we got Kelly Sperry driving his beautiful 64 Nova, the 406 Chevy power plant, against Toyota Lane with Denny Napier. Eckerd Racing, he's driving a 77 Vega. Napier ran a 1091 yesterday with a 4 on his 1090 dial. Let's see what he can do today. Oh, and Napier can't take the win with the advantage off the tree. Win goes to Kelly Sperry at 1092 with a 2 at 123.5 to losing 1093, 131.7. Got a 91 Beretta driven by Steve Eckerd. He's out of Pataskala, Ohio, against Ronald Foss. He's out of Lucas, Ohio. Got his A2 Camaro. Jackson's Racing's engine sponsored.
Stockers, round number 3. If you're not in the lanes yet, you are very late. Super Gas, get them ready. We're going to be calling you here shortly. Stock Eliminator, round number 3 as Ronnie Foss gets the win at the stripe. 1094, 139 beats a 1093. Whole shot win takes him out by 3 thousandths of a second down at the other end of the racetrack.
Got an 80 Monza in this O'Reilly Auto Parts lane, driven by Alex Miller out of Mansfield, Ohio. Thing sponsored by Miller Racing Transmissions. He's running against Frank Jenkins. He's out of Galion, Ohio. He owns Jenkins Welding and Jackson's Racing Engines. There's pedal action going at the top end. Jenkins takes it 1090 with a 6. We got to put some props out to the guy in the blue shirt who built the racing engines for the last pair there. Good set.
Stock Eliminator round number 3. If you're not in the lanes, you're late. You're tardy. You're AWOL. Well, you get the idea. We need you Stock Eliminator round number 3. Missing a few of you. Hate to run the third round of eliminations. Not have everybody to go down track, but we are ready. Pull stock out of the lanes and send them down the racetrack. Stockers, where you be? Super Gas, get them ready. As soon as we get the stockers paired up, we're going to be sending you Super Comp. You will be right behind it, Super Gas. Stockers, don't know where you are, but we need you. Come one, come all. All right, Super Gas. Super Gas, your turn. Need you to the lanes, please. Super Gas to the staging lanes. Your turn to come on down. Looks like we got the majority of our stockers. If you're not there, you're late. We're fixing to run without you. Stock Eliminator should be in the lanes. Super Gas needs you to the lanes now, please. I mean, Super Comp, get them ready. We'll be knocking on your door momentarily. But right now, Stock and Super Gas to the lanes. Super Gas, you should be making your way to the lanes, and Stockers need you to the front of the lanes, guys and gals. Come on up. Stock Eliminator needs you to the front of the lanes, ready to send you down the racetrack. The dance floor is open and ready for your participation. Stockers, round number 3. Getting ready to roll down the racetrack. See a couple pair back there in the lanes on my big screen overhead here at Route 66 Raceway. And looks like there's third pair. So we're about ready to rock and roll them. All right, here comes a contender.
The 2017 season is here, and the only place to see every heart-stopping moment is NHRA All Access. Friday through Sunday, see all the action from sportsmen to the pros. Miss some of the action? No problem. You can now rewind to catch up on anything you missed. Over 600 hours of racing excitement. Now only $79.95. NHRA All Access. Ignite your senses.
Get our first pair underway and headed down the racetrack. I don't know if Gary's having problems. Not going to be able to answer the bell, but Tim's up and we're ready to rock him. So stock eliminator, round number 3. Let's get you going, boys and girls. Super Gas to the lanes, please. Super Gas needs you to the lanes. Round number 3, Super Gas, come on down. Super Cup, get them ready. You're going to be rolling right behind. It's Tim Bettinghouse and Gary Merrick. Going to lead us off here. Round number 3, stock eliminator. 402, big block. Baldwin Motion Camaro on the left-hand side. Tim's a little 307, and Tim goes red by 4 thousandths of a second. So Gary Merrick gets a free ride to round number 4. The Baldwin Camaro goes through 1037, 126 miles an hour. 1246 by Bettinghouse, 106 miles per. Next pair already up on the line. Todd Kuhn and Timmy Lowe. Low up in the factory stock F. Copo Camaro. Little 350 combination for Tim. Kuhn's Pontiac. The F stock automatic entry. Over on the left-hand side. 455 Pontiac GTO. Kuhn out of the gate goes 21 on a 20 for 28,000 victory. 45 on a 45 by Tim. Kuhn had the better light. Kuhn over by 10. Tim over by 1. Take the little numbers, the big numbers, stir them in a pot all together. Todd, 28 thousandths of a second at the stripe. Drew Whalen's Lucas Oil. Pontiac Firebird. Craig Sarbaugh, stick shift, 327, 66 Chevy Nova. Handicap start to the deuce. There goes Craig. Here comes Drew. This will be interesting. Virtually identical out of the gate. Who's got it at the stripe? Going to be Drew. 1057 on a 56. 1105 on the 1104 by Craig. 5 thousandths of a second margin down at the other end for Whalen. And the Lucas Oil car. Brina Spling Air. Brina rolling in now. Runner up here in stock a year ago. The E-Stock automatic entry taking on Jimmy Reed's Copo Camaro. Again, Super Gas, need you to lanes, please. Super Gas to the lanes. Super Gas, come on down. 990. Super Comp, you are on standby. Might as well make sure they're fueled, cooled, spooled, and ready to go. Breda out of the gate and running. Here comes Jimmy Reed. Jimmy may be in trouble. Oh, we got the win. Breda at the stripe by a 10th and breaks out by 5 thousandths. And that is the second time Jimmy Reed has been the beneficiary of a lucky break. Whew. He may be bound and determined to win this race. 9:32 on the 9:29. Breda trying to judge the closing speed of that Copo Camaro at the other end and just missed. Kevin Zaskowski and Bobby Bishop. She will be beside herself down there at the time slip booth when she sees the numbers. Bishop's little 289 Mustang. Kevin Zaskowski, the automatic member of the Zaskowski clan. There goes the Ford. Here comes Kevin. Round number 3, stock underway. Super Gas, you should be in the lanes by now. Super Gas needs you to the lanes. Top pin, Kevin. Whops the throttle a couple of times. Goes 11:13 at 100 miles an hour. 1298 by Bobby Bishop, but I got to tell you, the pony was a little late out of the gate, and just like Churchill Downs, you don't get away clean, you're probably going to be running behind. Jared Huttard up, the 350 Camaro for Huttard out of Cromwell, Minnesota. 11:21 to dial right side, 10:24 for Ryan over on the left lane with his 396. So the boys out of Minnesota, out of the Huttard family, running each other in round number 3. 11:32, the win goes to Jared at 103. 10:62 by Ryan as Super Comp now gets called to the lanes. Super Comp, need you to the lanes, please. Round number 2, Super Comp to the lanes. Let's get them going, boys. Steve Zorney and Bruce Castle. Well, interesting pairs. The 360 Dodge Dakota and the 429 Mercury Cougar square off. 7/10 difference between the two. There goes Steve. Here comes Bruce. Small advantage. Off the line. Went to the truck. So's the wind light. 1195 at 105. 1126 by Bruce at 116 miles an hour. And the Dodge. Rampage is on. No, wait a minute. Dakota's on. Yeah, that's okay. Scott Lieberschur up down the another new Copo Camaro. 9:35 the dial for the factory stock B machine. Taking on Tony Denisenko. And Tony, I don't know what tree he was looking at, but it was way early. I mean, like a month. Obviously, the coffee for Tony this morning, highly caffeinated. 12:55 at 104 for Denisenko after the red light start. 9:37 for Lieberschur on the 9:35 dial. He'll be back for the next. Bob Gibson and Billy Fota roll in. Super Gas and Super Comp. Need your lanes, please. Super Gas and Super Comp. Need you to the staging lanes, please. Come on down. Super Gas and Super Comp. Looking for you to the staging lanes. Gibson left side. 1168, the Deuce with the 327. Foder's 455, Trans Am 1129. There goes the Chevy. Here comes the Poncho. Pontiac trying to pick him up, put him down, and chase down Gibson's Chevy, but he may be in trouble. Yep, 1173 and 111. Foder tried to make up on the other end what he left on this end. 1126 on the 1129. And, well, boys and girls and guys and gals, it just doesn't work so well. Super Gas, Super Comp, need your lanes, please. Super Gas, Super Comp, needs you to the lanes. Ben Wenzel's. One owner, low mileage. 67, original 302 Z28, taking on Lynn Smith's 455, 73 Buick Century. It's what you call racing in style. There goes Lynn. Here comes Ben. It's Lenny. It's Benny. Sounds like a British comedy show, doesn't it? Lenny and Benny. Lynn on the left, 1149-1, breaks out by 9 thou. Ben Wenzel gets the win. 47 on the 45 for the 74-year-old youngster coming down from Michigan. Cranked a 25 foul reaction time off the line, and he gets to come back. Here's Lance Line. Lance survived a bullet in round number 2 yesterday and got the lucky ride to the bye run here in round number 3. Not a line performance. .428 Mustang hustling on through, goes 10.22 at a $128 for speed. Super Comp needs you to the lane. Super Gas, you should already be there. Super Comp to the lanes, please. Super Gas, you should be there. Super Stock, you are on standby. Super Stock, you are on standby. Super Gas and Super Comp needs you to the lanes. If you're not there yet, Super Gas, you're late. Super Comp needs you to the lanes, please. Super Comp. Super Comp needs you to the lanes, please. Super Gas getting ready to come up. Warren Evans came in a minute ago from D3 TV, kicked the chair out from underneath me, said, "Have I got your attention yet? I want to announce Super Gas and Super Comp." I'm like, "Okay, Warren, I'm here for you, buddy. I'll let you."
Well, thank you, Bob. I'll do my best from over here.
All right, sounds like a deal.
Room.
Tom Stromwell and Devin Eisner are going to be the first pair in, and live from D3 TV headquarters, it's Warren Evans.
Well, thank you, Bob. Good morning, everybody. 990 to the number down there on the big board as we get set to move into E3 on D3 TV. And here on the racetrack as well as Super Gas sits under the tower right now. Last class, they picked the number. This class, the number picked them. 990 is the index, 4/10 Pro Tree. And our first pair sitting under the tower right now, it's Tom Stromwell out of St. Cloud, Minnesota, left side. And Devin Eisenhower, the student out of Lebanon, Indiana, runs Super Comp, Super Gas. Picked up some prizes down at the Sports Nationals last weekend. He had the best package of the weekend, put together a 2-pack down there, and took home some a few consolation prizes. Didn't get the Wally, but had a few things to decorate his mantle when he got home. So Super Gas coming up, Super Comp. If you're not in the lanes, you need to be there. Super Comp. We need you to the staging lanes. Super Comp to the lanes. If this gets to be too loud, let me know, okay? So that 63 split window Corvette, O'Reilly Auto Parts lane, Tom Stromwell getting set to stage it up. And the topless roadster right side for Devin Eisenhower. Not too long ago, saw Devin win a Super Comp race at Gateway Motorsports Park. Then the next weekend, he was racing in the Junior Dragster Championships over in Terre Haute. So an up-and-comer in all the categories here and follows the division trail. Down track they go. At the quarter-mile mark, wind light's going to flash for Devin Eisenhower. 996 at 152. Eisenhower moves on to fourth-round action. Stromwell's weekend finishes up 995 at 144. Two more coming at you now. Steve Theodore. He picked up the Wally at that same event that Devin Eisenhower did down in St. Louis a couple of years ago. The runner out of Columbus, Ohio, the proprietor of McLaughlin Oil and Fast Lube in that 63 Corvette Roadster alongside Dan Haight, the Minnesota runner, with his own Roadster, 27 Ford T. Bow tie power for both drivers. Wind light says it's Steve Theodore. Haight took the stripe, broke out by 3 thou, 989.7. Little too quick for him. Theodore gets the win, 997 at 158. Here's Paul Richardson, the P&R Express Forenza, the Oldsmobile. out of Woodburn, Indiana. Off he goes alongside Tom Patterson, the Canadian, in his Corvette Roadster. And he's going to go on to the next round. Tom Patterson for the win, 992, 157 for the speed. 989.7, another 3,000 breakout, taking the stripe for Paul Richardson. So close to the number, but a tick too quick. Bob Hanshoe, North Olmsted, Ohio, comes up now. His 97 Firebird, the full-bodied car, alongside Dave Dahlem, Tremont, Illinois, the Dahlem Racing 57 Corvette. Judy looking on, looks up, sees the wind light flash for her hubby Dave. Dahlem out the back door. He'll use it for a tune-up pass, 993 at 155.
Supercomp, if you're not in the lanes, you're late. Supercomp needs you to the lanes, and now Superstock needs you to the lanes, please. Superstock needs you to the lanes. Come on down, round number 2. Superstock to the lanes.
Coming up next, the big number 1 on the side of the car, your world champ in Super Gas last year, Mia Tedesco. Miss Mia picked up the Wally right here at Route 66 at the division race and the national race on her way to that championship. Murraysville, Pennsylvania, the home base for that 04 Cavalier, alongside David Nelson from Palmyra, Missouri. The 01 Corvette Roadster, right side, staged and ready. Both of them are in. Little womp-womp down there. Both of them run 993. Miss Mia does it better. 008 light helped her cause. Margin of victory, 14 thousandths down there at the stripe. To finish up the day for David Nelson, Miss Mia moves on. Two more making their way under the tower right now. It's Dirk Sutton and Tom Carlson. Sutton, the full-bodied Camaro out of Wentzville, Missouri. Gateway Big Dog Motorcycles helping him get to the track. 92 Camaro left side. Tom Carlson from Two Harbors, Minnesota, in his Corvette Roadster. Mopar power out there in front of the driver. Both of them trying to hit that magic 990 down there on the scoreboard. Clean and green for both drivers. Looking back and forth, back and forth. Who's going to take it? How about a 991? And the crowd goes wild. 991 for Tom Carlson. 152 for the speed. 993 and done at 152 for Dirk Sutton. Again, super stock, we need you to the lanes, please. Super stock, we need you to the lanes. Super comp, you should already be there. Here's Joey Ship. Hi to Randy Lynn and everybody out in Epping, tuning in on D3 TV. Joey out of Indy, alongside Alan Bush, the Bush Racing 05 Cavalier. The Cutlass and the Cavalier making their way down the track. Lights come on the Toyota board for Alan Bush. 996 at 161. 988.9. A little bit too quick for Joey Ship. Took the stripe, broke out by 1. Here's Hank Stewart from Winnicott, Wisconsin. An engineer by trade, alongside Jody Davis. Davis in the 65 Mustang. getting it done. 10:08, good enough to get it done. Had plenty of room to work with down there. Starting line advantage to Davis. Jerry Spoor pulls up now. 82 Mustang left side, the O'Reilly Auto Parts lane. He hails from Ohio alongside Steve Hoyt. Multi-time top 10 runner in the category. Stephen Jan's 63 Corvette out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hoyt on the Toyota side of the track. So Spoor in some trouble. Pays the price at the stripe. $9.92 for the win for Steve Hoyt. $162 for the speed. $9.93 at 151. He was late off the line and second at the finish. Not a good combination. Again, super stock. Super stock. We need you to the lanes. Super comp, you should be there as well. Super stock to the lanes. Here's Mark Cole. Tyler Schneider. Cole left side out of Avon, Indiana. The Coles Town and Country Towing 63 Corvette. Like Bob says, take Corvette Roadsters and give somebody else the rest of the field. You got a pretty good shot. Tyler Schneider alongside out of Rochester Hills, Michigan. In the Monza, both drivers on their game at the starting line, 011 to 007. Win light, 995s both side. Mark Cole for the win, 995-2 at 141. Takes out Tyler Schneider's 995-0 at 146. Schneider was 007. Cole 011. 2 thousandths of a second. Margin of victory, that's .002. on your computer dial. Austin Benner taking the single there as Chris Bishop cannot make the call this morning. Austin Benner will just idle on down the track. Maybe not idle on down the track. How about a 984 at 154 for Austin Benner? So, I believe, based on the lack of cars under the tower, that wraps up Super Gas, Super Comp. You will be up next. Super Stock. Super Stock. If you're not in the lanes, we need you now. Super Stock. To the lanes. We need you now.
You tell them, Warren. Super Stock needs you to the lanes, please. Super Stock needs you into the lanes. Top Dragster, you're going to be coming in next for round number 2. Comp Eliminator behind that for round number 2. Top Sportsman behind that for round number 2. Guys and gals, I don't know if y'all were having a beer for every firework that went off last night or what, but good golly, Miss Molly, we need a little bippity-boppity-boo in your step today. Need you to lanes, please, when we call you. Super Stock needs you to the staging lanes, please. Here comes Super Comp, and Warren's back one more time.
Here we go, Super Comp. The number changed down there at the finish line. 890, the magic number for the track darts. Out there, Danny Nelson pulling up left side. At the control of the Super Comp car out of Batesville, Arkansas. Danny, a chassis builder by trade. A lot of race cars you see out here with racecraft chassis. He's the man who fabricated them for all of his fellow competitors alongside Bob Mandel. Hey, how about that? The Profab chassis builder over here on the right side. So the battle of the chassis builders, left and right. Who's going to take home bragging rights here in round 3 of Super Comp? Excuse me, round 2 of Super Comp. So Mandel, Nelson, win light on the double breakout for Danny Nelson. He's 3 under 887 at 178. Mandel, a nickel under 885. Also at 178. So Nelson advances to round number 3. Who will join him? 2 more under the tower right now. Again, super stock, super stock. If you're not in the lanes, you need to be there. Super stock to the lanes. Joey Fusting, Tony Elrod. Here's a pretty good matchup. Fusting out of Grays Lake, Illinois for Parker Store Racing. The McIlvain car left side, alongside Tony Elrod. Fenton, Michigan, the home base for the heavy equipment operator at the controls of the Sunoco dragster. Both racers taking their time to stage them up. Fusting and Elrod slowly advancing towards the beams there. Now, Tony's got the pre-stage light lit. Both sides staged and ready. Here we go. A coin flip at the start. Finish line says it's Elrod for the win. 892 at 165. Fusting took the stripe by 3. Only needed to take 1. As he's 888, too quick, left side. Ed Wilcox, full-bodied car over there out of Detroit, Michigan. 2002 Camaro, alongside Greg Camplain, a hitter in this class and in Comp Eliminator. Camplain, the machine shop owner out of Brownsburg, Indiana, for Mount Comfort RV and Camplain Machine. Camplain making up ground on the door slammer. Can he get it done? Yes, he does. 892 at 159 for the win for Greg Camplain. Wilcox 891, closer to the index, but tardy at the start, pays the price. Tyler Bohannon out of Louisville, Kentucky. Backing up from the burnout left side of the track, the O'Reilly lane. A car salesman by trade. Works for Bo Butner down there at Bo Nose Automotive, alongside Nicole Medicis, New Lenox, Illinois, the home base for the young lady. Nicole, a local runner, spends a lot of time at Route 66. Bohannon shallow in there. Nicole as well. Off they go. All I can say is wow. Bohannon, 001 on the tree, 896 for the win at 150. Wow, what a drag race. He's 001, she's 007. They both run 896 too. Margin of victory, .006. 6 thousandths, all right here at the starting line. A 007 ain't good enough to get it done. How about that? Rick Bailey, Beach Bailey over there left side out of Decatur, Illinois, alongside Lynn Serena. Serena turns it red. Bailey did too, but Serena did it first. Beach Bailey with the win light. 893 at 166. He'll move on. Lynn Serena red lights his chances away. 895 at 168. Just a little touch up on the starting line right now as Brad and the crew Making sure things are good for the next pair. It's Don Higgins, Crew Chief Pro Software, Mapleton, Illinois. Alongside Dean McIlvain. They both race with the products that they build and sell. Crew Chief Pro Software over their left side, McIlvain Race Cars right side. He can build the car for you, and Don can tune it. Again, 890, the magic number down there at the finish line. Both of them 7 inches away from getting this race going. McIlvain is in. Higgins is in. Here we go. Higgins with the light. Too much stripe. 3 under, 887 at 170. Took a 10th. Didn't need near that much. 896 at 162 for your winner, Dean McIlvain. Took a 10th, only needed 7. Can't do math this morning. Of course, I never could do math when I was in high school either. Gary Jenkins, the Naperville runner left side in the Dodge Dakota. No, that's not a Dodge Dakota. That's what the computer says, but I can't see it. Rob Kropfeld alongside. That's also not a Vega. Dragster side by side. Red light for Gary Jenkins. Rob Kropfeld gets to play again in round number 3. 8-9-0-3. 176, the first 890 of the session. 889.7 for Gary Jenkins, and the red light start. Here's Jim Jarakaris, Batavia, Illinois. Spitzer car, big block Chevy Power behind the driver. Alongside Leo's into the third, the Ring and Pinion Shop proprietor out of Clinton Township, Michigan. Super Gas, Super Comp runner over here on the right side. And away they go. At the 1320, it's going to be another dead on 890 for Jim Jarakaris. He's your winner, 164 for the speed. For Leo Zinda, 894, 4 off at 172. A little bit later at the start, can't run the number at the big end, gets to load it back in the rolling box. Dave Crawford comes up now, the Cedar Rapids, Iowa runner. Undercover car left side alongside Jason Hartig. Lancaster, Ohio, another undercover right side. Both of them big block Chevy powered entries. Both of them trying to run that 890 down there at the finish line. Even up at the starting line, finish line says 893 for Crawford, taking the win. He's over. Hardig is under, 887 at 162. So Hardig breaks out. Crawford moves on. Zach Papp, my buddy out of Charleston, Illinois, getting set to stage up left side of the track. Away he goes alongside Rock Haas. Tough matchup here in round 2. Zach Papp, third round action coming up for Zach. 893 at 172. Rock Haas, 895 at 173. Haas was 007 on the tree. Pap 014. Both of them right there at the start. Zach moves on as fast. Eddie Cook coming up now out of Thomasboro, Illinois. Ed and Cindy Cook's entry alongside Bob Prose, the body shop owner out of Terre Haute, Indiana. Prose, the American race car chassis entry, has a gorgeous super gas car as well that he painted. We'll get to see Prose come back for one more as Eddie Cook goes 012 red. Bob Prose, the automatic win, 887 at 175. Ed Cook, 884 and out at 160. Okay, perfect. Coming up now, that green dragster left side from Elkhart, Indiana. That's Troy Stone, the proprietor of Vintage Trailers. At the wheel of his Spitz chassis big block bow tie machine alongside Craig Schultz. The undercover car right side out of Winona, Minnesota. Green car, red light. Troy Stone, done. Craig Schultz moves on, 8908. 890 with an 8 at 171 for Craig Schultz. Red light start for Troy Stone, 893 to finish up his day. Shannon Mingy, Urbana, Illinois, for VFW and Bonnewell Automotive, the American chassis car out of Urbana, Illinois, alongside Todd Chiava. Elkhart, Indiana, works for Troy Stone up there at Vintage Trailers, trying to do what the boss couldn't, and that's move on to the next round. Mingy in a little bit of trouble, but gets the win. 891, drove the other end for the win. 168 for the speed. Shannon Mingy, your winner. Todd Chiava gets to join Troy on the trailer. 893 at 167. Todd had the better light, but could not run the number at the stripe. Jeremy Mason, number 7 in the world last year, out of Richmond, Kentucky. Miller chassis big block entry, alongside Adam Gerber from Massillon, Ohio. It's an American race car chassis, 598 cubic inch bow tie power plant back there. Cut a light, run the number. That's all you got to do. One of them cut the light. And he runs the number as well. 009 on this end, 895 on that end at 166. Jeremy Mason, your winner. They both run 895. Margin of victory up here on the starting line, a 009 to an 022. Jeremy Mason advances. Chad Lamont comes up now, the hometown runner out of Fox Lake, Illinois. Financial advisor by trade, alongside Jerry Haas, the Minnesota runner. The classic style dragster over here right side. Lamont, Haas, finish line. Haas on the double breakout win. He was 003 on the tree, 888 at the finish line. He's 2 under. Lamont 3 under, 887 at 176. So Jerry Haas picks up the win ticket, and he'll be back. Chris Balcom, Guildford, Indiana, coming up now alongside Brian Cook. Balcom in the O'Reilly lane, Cook in the Toyota lane. Balcom from Indiana, Cook from Missouri. Side-by-side finish line says the 892 for Chris Balcom is your winner. 892 at 162 for Brian Cook. 4 off 894. and done at 162. Coming up now, backing up from the burnout right now, left side of the track.
Top dragster needs you to lanes, please. Top dragster needs you to the staging lanes, please. Come on down. Top dragster to the lanes, please.
It's another Minnesota runner left side. That's Jeff Beckman, Princeton, Minnesota. Don Davis built race car. Alongside John Sickish from Belmont, Ohio. Horton chassis car. Imagine this. Big block Chevys on both sides. Sickish is going to be sick when he sees that time ticket. 001 red. He is done. Beckman for the win. 891 at 167 for Jeff Beckman. He is your winner. 895. Red light start for John Sickish. Top dragster to the lanes. Top dragster. We need you to the staging lanes, please. Top dragster to the lanes. Greg Jericaris comes up now. Batavia, Illinois. Spitzer car. He's on the O'Reilly side alongside Bill Jackson. Jackson Scratcher for Bill and Marianne and Nitro Joe. Nitro out there taking the video right alongside Dad. Out of Mansfield, Ohio, the engine builder. Old enough to retire, but I still think he turns the wrenches over there. I'd say Bill's got a chance. If he could have found the brake pedal. 001 on the tree, 4 under 886 at 168. Jericaris wins on the double breakout, 889 at 167. Jericaris 1 under. Bill Jackson 4 under 886. Here's Pat Martin for Armor Paving and Sealing out of London, Ohio. He pairs up alongside Brian Casson from Evansville, Indiana. Casson, the electrician. Casson pulls up Toyota side of the track. Martin in the O'Reilly lane. As we wind our way through Super Comp. Martin was good at the starting line. Good enough for the win, 892 at 172. He was 019. Casson 006, but 5 off at the stripe. Martin for the win. Megan Straswig for Cool Shirt. A young lady out of Evansville, Indiana, the college student, picking up the multi-year deal to represent Cool Shirt. For you racers out there, you need to stop by their trailer and check out the product line and see all about the technology that is Cool Shirt. Alongside Brandon Bergschneider from Waverly, Illinois. Pentastar Power behind the driver. Megan out front. Here comes Bergschneider. But she's 1 under 889. 896 for the win for Brandon Bergschneider at 162. It's Bill Rudy coming up now out of Lima, Ohio. He gets to head that way. He's red. Brian Horton for the win. Horton drives it out to an 888 at 173. 890 with a 7 and a losing effort for Bill Rudy. Would have been a good pack, except for that pesky little 001 red light. Jordan Pratt comes up now alongside Scott Cook. Cook out of Festus, Missouri. Jordan Pratt alongside from Otsego, Minnesota. Pair of green lights starts this time around. Who's going to make it count down there at the finish line? It's going to be Jordan Pratt. 890 with an 8 for the win for Jordan Pratt. Scott Cook, 892 at 171 and done. Angela Neely, the CEO of ATM Innovations out of Alvaton, Kentucky, alongside Jacob Elrod, former world champ in the Super Gas division, financial advisor / professional drag racer out of Harrod, Ohio. Crew chief Jamie alongside, making sure that Jacob gets everything lined up and ready to roll. And your final pair, headed down track. Wind light's going to flash for Jacob Belrod. Jake the Snake, 894 at 169. 006 on the tree. For Angela Neely, 2 quick, 887. Took the stripe by 5. Only needed 2. As your 3 under 887 ends the day. So Super Comp is in the books. Super Stock is up next. And I'll turn it back over to the voice of the North Central Division, Mr. Bob Unkefer.
Well, thank you, Warren. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to throw that in. Oh, good morning, everybody. Super Stock. If you're not in the lanes, you're late. Top Dragster, we've called you to the lanes as well. That means round number 2 of Comp Eliminator. You'll be coming in pretty quick. Hey, heads up, Stock Eliminator driver, Tim Bettinghouse, Craig Sarbaugh, Brina, who's getting ready to come up in Super Stock, Ryan Hutar, Tony Denisenko, and Billy Fodor. You need to report to the media room next to race control. Get your W-9 filled out so the track can send you a check. And in Super Gas, Tom Stromwall, Dan Height, Dirk Sutton, Hank Stewart, Jerry Spohr, Tyler Schneider, and Chris Bishop. Those drivers in Stock and Super Gas. We need to be able to get a W-9 filled out. Again, Tim Bettinghouse, Craig Sarbaugh, Brina Splinger, Ryan Hutar, Tony Denisenko, and Billy Fodor in Stock. Super Gas drivers, Chris Bishop, Tyler Schneider, Jerry Spohr, Hank Stewart, Dirk Sutton, Dan Height, and Tom Stromwall. You, too, need to report to the media suite right next to race control. Get your W-9 filled out so Route 66 Raceway can send you your money. Unless you don't want it, which if you don't want it, just let us know, and I'll fill out the W-9 with my name on it. And they can send the check to the Old Announcers Retirement Fund. Because I'm getting old and, well, I really don't want to retire, but I can stash it away for a rainy day. Super Stock getting ready to roll out next. Bill Zaskowski and Ernie Neal. Throw a couple of stick cars at you to get everything started off with. A little Super Stock eye. Chevrolet Corvette over here on the right-hand side, and Bill, the boss man. Zaskowski clan up on the left-hand side. A little 283 4-speed GTN 66 Chevy Nova. Bill on a 1026, Ernie on a 967, and again, Top Dragster. Need your lanes, please. Round number 2, Top Dragster. Needs you to the staging lanes, please. Round number 2. You can come on down, please. We'd appreciate it. Cop Eliminator. Round number 2, get them ready. You're going to be rolling here shortly. As soon as we get all the Top Dragsters paired up and in, Cop will be rolling in right behind them. So, Super Stock. Round number 2. Getting ready to head their way down the racetrack. We started off with 58. Let's see, 58 divided by 2. Hold on, I can figure this. 29 of you. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay. And Bill goes red by one stinking, measly minuscule thousandth of a second. Zaskowski bunches his own ticket here in round number 2. Ernie Neal says, thank you very much. 963 on the 967 as we call comp to the lanes now. See, comp, I told you we'd be calling you pretty quick. Competition Eliminator, round number 2. Need you to the staging lanes, please. Comp cars, round 2. To the lanes. There's Angelo DeCarlos. Super H automatic, little 327 Corvette. Mark Nowicki's Factory GT. Dodge Avenger. Over here on the right-hand side, and Angelo is in deep. Dead laid out of the gate. 92.8 on a 93 at the other end, and weren't even close. 10 flat by Nowicki. 127 miles an hour. Mark was 17 on the tree. And let's just say by the time both cars passed the Christmas tree, Mark was well out in front. Todd France taking on Brina. Spling air up in her little Chevy Cobalt. Runner out of C-Tech Manufacturing. Chicago Steel and K&N Filters taking on Mr. France. Little Pontiac G5. Cars rolled down the same assembly line. A little bit different interior trim. Different front end, different rear end. And green lights a pair, we're off and running. Brina probably still trying to get over that loss in the last round of stock. She's going to be commiserating a little bit more now because she goes out in this round of super stock. 985. Dead on 3. 13 on the tree by Todd. Throws down a 16 thou package. Brina's weekend comes to a screeching halt. Keith Lynch. Matt Lund roll in now. Lynch at the wheel. The Factory GT. The Challenger. At our RacingRVs.com and the Lynch Mob. 975. Matt on a 981. There goes Matthew. Here comes Keith. Courtney's over here scratching names off my list. That means somebody out there's actually listening. 984 by Matt at 133 gets the win. Keith's day is done. 975 at $1.36. Lynch comes up short. Brian Stuffleby. Super J automatic and Alan Wade Super C automatic. Little 350 Firebird there on the left side. Wade with the 427. Camaro here on the Toyota side. 930 to a 1024 dial. Almost 2 bulbs on the tree. Brian's tried to stretch it out a little bit. Throws down 6 thousandths of a second red light. Alan Wade says thank you very much. 929 at 142 by Wade. 1056, 105 by Stuffleby. After the red light lit up the starting line back on this end, Brian's day was effectively brought to a halt here in Super Stock. Irvin Johns and Greg Meyer. 400 cubic inch GTK automatic Firebird for Meyer in the Toyota lane. 1013. Irvin Johns, boss man, CEO, president, chief cook and bottle washer of Suburban Heavy Haulers down in Indiana. Got a little 346 LS powered Chevy Cobalt. And Irvin goes red. 11 thousandths of a second. Greg Meyer says, I'll take it. 1012 on a 1013, running it out the back at 131. 932. Oh, dead on 8 by Irvin after going 11 thou. Too quick off the starting line as Jeremy Duncan, Mr. Pest Control, pulls in. Taking on Mike Lund. Mike, of course, going to the finals last year. Came up just a little bit short to Nick Folk in the final round. Again, our condolences to Nick. Couldn't make it this weekend. Had a death in the family and a funeral to attend. So he missed out on a chance to repeat. There goes Mikey. Here comes Jeremy. Little wheel standing. 350, 69 Camaro at the top end. Not going to get him. 1017 on a 1016. Lund puts together a 21 thousandths package. 992 by Jeremy. His reaction time effectively and mathematically eliminated him from any chance of getting that round win. Aaron Allison up now, the reigning division champ, taking on Ricky Decker. Ricky out of Charleston, Indiana, that is. There goes the wheel standing Camaro. Here comes Aaron's B modified Chevy Cavalier. Drifts a little out of the groove off the line. Opens up the door for Ricky to run 96 on a 95 to get the win by 15 ten-thousandths of a second. 97 on a 96 by Aaron. Aaron actually had a 3 thousandths advantage off the line. Both of them doing a commendable job down at the other end of the racetrack, though. And Allison just came up a little bit short. Here's Brad Zaskowski and Grant Zimmerman. Zimmerman's Camaro right side, first edition. Zaskowski over on the O'Reilly lane, the 87 model. Chasing each other down the racetrack. One light's going to go to Zimmerman. 68 Camaro, 1007, dead on 2 for a 20-pack at 129. 1008 on a 1005 by Bradley. And the Zaskowski clan here in Superstock not faring so well. Dan's Rust, Kim Fritz. Kim coming up now. The birthday boy. Out of Illinois, wheeling and dealing the Cobra Jet Mustang. Celebrating either number, well, I'm not going to say. But it is Kim's birthday. We're all going to sing to him a little bit later on. There goes Dan, the Hemi-Cuda. Here comes Kim. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is going to be close. Tapping the brakes. Fritz goes 838 on the 839. 908 dead on 0 by Dan. 14 thousandths package. Kim Fritz had an 18 thousandths light and was done.